Welcome back to the Socially Distant Podcast. We're here, week 57, another week. Don't know how we made it this far in terms of the planet Earth, not the podcast. Podcast goes strong every week. I'm here, as always, with my two co-hosts, Brad and Trent. What's going on over there, Trent?
Nothing much, brother, nothing much. Fucking living in this crumbling America, just chilling and vibing. The flames are encroaching. No, but
at least Elon Musk makes Dogecoin meme jokes on SNL. That will save us from
dude,
everything.
yeah, he's doing a bunch of shit, man. Didn't they say he's accepting Dogecoin from SpaceX? Dogecoin.
He paid for a rocket launch next year in Dogecoin.
That shit is
Doge
bro.
1. It's going to the moon. It's a moon satellite.
Literally, it's so fucking whack because it literally does nothing besides it's holding Doge on the moon. It's what he said. So
Hey man, space debris. It's always a good thing to have out there.
Yeah, man. That's just such a fucking waste, dude. I get it. You're so rich.
I don't know though, because everything that goes out into space is way more likely to survive than things here on planet Earth. So
why do we need that to survive?
I don't know, man. It's a part of history. You gotta keep history alive out there. It's like back in the day, when we sent out the Voyager and everything, we would put a whole bunch of music and stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
So if aliens ever found it, then there would be some trace of us, because I guarantee a lot of the stuff in space will outlive.
Oh, 100%.
There's stuff that just the Voyager is just continuously flying out into space for the rest of eternity.
Mm-hmm. And nothing's gonna stop it unless it already exploded.
Nah, it sends back messages.
Does it really?
Still, to this day. That thing was out in the 1970s, and it still sends back signals.
That's crazy.
That's how we learn about a lot of stuff in deep space. Is a satellite that was built pretty much on a computer that's in your car key fob. That's how strong the computer was back then. And that thing is still fucking chugging. So if you ever tell me old stuff wasn't built to last, that right there is a good example of it.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, but what's going on over there, Brad? We skipped over you.
No, we're good. We're chilling. We're talking about Doge, baby.
Doge
to the moon.
Nothing much. Been a long day. It's gonna be another long day tomorrow. I have to open at 5 these next 2 days. I was there at 7 this morning. I was there for 10 collective hours today. I was there at 7, and then 6 is when I got done on my last session. I worked 8 hours, had my little break, and then just came back for a couple training sessions afterwards. So we grinded.
Yeah,
It's a crazy one, but it's all right. We're making money and having fun with it. I get to teach people how to lift weights, so there's really no complaints.
yeah, that's cool.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, but I'm a little tired today. A little tired tonight. So I'm just eating my chicken, some rice noodles, and I'm here to vibe. And then I gotta freaking slam some pre-workout and hit the gym in about 45 minutes an hour. So it's gonna be a good time.
Bro, you're in the gym all day. You're a fucking maniac. What
I was in the gym working. Now I gotta get in the gym. Now I gotta get in the gym and put in that work.
Damn, boy, I admire
The gains
you.
don't stop, Trent. The gains
That's
don't
fucking.
stop.
The gains do not stop, and fuck no.
We don't take days off out here.
God damn, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That is amazing.
Thank you. But yeah, it's been good, man. Unfortunately, my fitness manager, she put her 2 weeks in a while ago, and then today, I guess the owner told her she didn't have to fulfill those 2 weeks because they just weren't the happiest with each other. But hopefully they find somebody to replace her that's just as good. And she was really good, so I don't know if they'll find somebody better. But
I'm sure they will. That gym is, like you said last week, the owner is very on top of that gym, making sure that it's functioning correctly.
yeah, that's why I hope they.
So I would not be worried at all. They're not gonna hire fucking the dude who sits on his Nintendo Switch.
I know. Fucking Crunch Fitness. Shout out Crunch.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. Yeah, it's so wild, dude. I literally have made more money in 1 week at Catalyst than I made like the entire time I worked at Crunch. It's pretty sad.
Jesus Christ.
Yep, that's
And, like-
about right.
Like my paycheck started off like somewhat low just because I wasn't working a ton the first
Yeah.
week, and then like the second, third, fourth, as I started to get clients, my paycheck's literally gone up like over like $100 like every week since.
Yeah.
It just keeps getting more and more and more. So
If Catalyst ever wants to expand into Pennsylvania, you know where to go.
you know where to go.
Honestly, there's so many fucking gyms here. It's stupid.
Yeah, I know. There's like even like just on that strip you live on.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
But the good news, you're not going to be living on that strip for much longer.
Yeah, true that. I'm pretty excited.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Break the news to the folks.
Yeah, honestly, looking for apartments is very discouraging as a young adult.
Yeah, it is.
You'll learn very quickly that you're not gonna get something unless you look perfect on paper right now, and it's just kind of discouraging. Like me and Melissa are like perfectly fine. Like we look really good on paper, and we were still getting some of the applications we put in got denied just because there was someone like slightly better, and it's just stupid. That's how like the housing like market is.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm worried about. I'm looking for like my own place right now. Just because like she lives here and she'll live here next year, like with her brother as well, because he'll still be in school. But I'm just looking for like my own place, like as close as I can to Catalyst in here, and then like that way she can like come stay with me most nights. But like that's the only thing I'm worried about is like, I'm luckily enough, like my mom and dad like said like they'll like co-sign or whatever.
Yeah, that's a nice thing to
credit
have.
check.
I don't think I feel like your I don't know if you looked at your credit recently, but I feel like it's pretty good. You've rented multiple apartments.
Yeah, I've always paid my shit.
Exactly. That right there that shot my credit score up a shit ton after living here for a year.
Yeah, like we always
paying
paid
everything on time.
The first year Andrew and I, it was nice, and I don't know if it like makes a difference, but like when Andrew and I lived together and then with his cousin, for that whole year, the utilities were like in our landlord's name. Like we just paid them up front. They were in our name, but then he paid them for us every month.
Yeah, that's
so like technically they was like in our name, but they were paid for. And then when Jake and I lived together, like we paid our gas and electric every single time, like on time.
Yeah. And that's what you have to do. If you're a good tenant, you get rewarded.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we were just getting like we weren't getting like the apartment. Like it sucks to like imagine yourself living somewhere, and then the next day being told that like you didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you like you all put all this brain effort into like, okay, we're gonna live here, and then you like because we're living on months at a time here. Like I had to be in a new apartment like June 1st.
Yeah.
Well, not technically. I have this apartment until June 30th, but we needed to get a lease for June 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So it was coming. We had like we've been doing it for weeks, and it just like finally we got one, and we got the one that like we really really liked.
That's good.
Which is nice because the landlord wasn't doing like first like the best person. It was first come first serve, and if you look good on paper, then you get it. Like me and Melissa both have full-time jobs, and
Exactly.
like we pay our rent and everything on paper. That's all that should matter.
Like I can
shouldn't be
show you.
Like someone's older than us or something like that.
I can show you guys. I'll link this to you. It's like the one my mom was like looking earlier because she was asking some people, like some of her like bosses and other stuff that like in that area if they knew of any apartments, and she just found this one on like Main Street, Buffalo. Let me share the screen. A live look. She sent me like a couple of them, and this is like the top one that I'm looking at just because of like the proximity and the price. So we get some photos here. It's called Mercer Commons. It looks like it's in Main Street, Buffalo, but it looks like it's in like a nicer area. Especially like because my mom sent me these, so I doubt she'd
Is
like.
Main Street a busy street?
I'm not sure.
Main Street sounds like a busy street.
It sounds like Main Street.
I would just caution if you ever get an apartment in a city to try to find one. It can be literally the street next to the busy street, but that's better than living on the busy street.
Yeah.
Because the busy street never stops being busy.
And there will be dirt bikes doing wheelies. I promise.
That's a weird toilet seat. It doesn't
Yeah, did you see
close
that
all the
thing?
way.
It's like I'm in a freaking public restroom.
I was gonna make a comment because you're supposed to close toilet seats when you take photos, but you can't because there's not a top toilet seat.
It's not a toilet seat.
Yeah,
It's like a public.
weird.
I'm changing that one. I don't give a shit. It's like a public restroom.
You should get one of the fancy bidet toilet seats.
I know. I'm just big. Yo, you mind if I throw a bidet in here? It's not bad though. It's like their studio's 670 to 720 square feet.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Oh,
for
that's pretty
$7.25.
good.
It's not bad at all.
And how
Yeah,
far?
studio is all you really need if it's just you.
Yeah, it is.
So
And like the nice part is like then you go down here, utilities included: gas, water, electricity, heat, trash removal, sewer. Everything.
unless you plan on having like people over, studio's fine.
Yeah. And like even when my girlfriend comes
100%.
over, like
Yeah.
it's not like it's
Like
gonna be end of the world.
Yeah, the apartment we got is definitely like smaller in the sense of I think it's just stretched out more, but it feels smaller because it's on like a single floor instead of like we have the basement and everything here in like the backyard, so it feels a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But so we're slightly downsizing, but we're also getting a lot more. That apartment's like very pretty.
It looks
Inside.
super modern. And like,
Yeah, I'm excited to like decorate it and stuff. I'm big fan of exposed brick,
yeah.
and a lot of the spots in that apartment are exposed brick, so I was pretty happy.
Fuck
Take it back to the Minecraft days.
Hell yeah, need to make some bricks.
I'm a big fan of the mossy cobblestone. I use that in a lot of my builds.
Yeah, so that was really good. And then the other thing is, I did a shoot yesterday, and it was the first house that I've ever done that was for sale by owner. And they found like, I think they found windows still. They didn't even find me. They just booked me, and I got there, and they were. I found out it was for sale by owner, and I was talking to them. I'm like, this is the first for sale by owner I've ever done, and they were saying that the last time they sold their house, they got like screwed over by like the realtor, so they're not going to work with a realtor ever again.
Yeah, screw that.
They
Sell
screwed
it,
them out
bitch,
of like
yourself.
a bunch of money.
That sucked.
Yeah, I told her, I'm like, I guarantee all the agents that I work with would never do that to you, but it sucks that there's one person that would be willing to screw people out of money like that.
That's just the world.
Yeah. But she messaged me this morning because she had me follow her Instagram. She does like vegan whole food cooking or something on her Instagram.
What?
So she had me follow it, but she messaged me this morning and told me how much she loved the photos. And she asked me if I could do photos of her children, like portraits and stuff.
Side
the
gig.
That's kind of cool though.
I've done it once, I think. I've done portrait photography and stuff like that. So I said yes, and I think I would like to start taking like little side gig. If like today actually there was a homeowner who asked me if I could do their son's senior photos, and I'm like, I have a camera, I might as well fucking do them.
Dude, it's literally like a side gig, bro. It's probably
It was
cash.
2 days in a
It's-
row that I got. And also, I just made a logo for somebody's, like, one of my clients' companies. They needed a logo, and she came to me. And I'm like, you know what? I am decent at Illustrator and Photoshop. I made it. So I made her some side money right there. So we're just taking every opportunity we can get.
Dude, that's the fucking wave, man. That's dope.
That's just, like, quick freelance work.
100%.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it's
Freelance
like it's easy.
work is, yeah. I mean, if I'm already doing it, I like when the person asked me if I could do their son's senior photos or whatever. I'm like, I take pictures of houses a lot. Honestly, that's all I really do right now. But I don't see why I couldn't.
I don't see why I could.
And she's like, "All right, sounds good." I gave her my business card. She says her son's a pain in the ass, so he has no interest in them, so that's fun. But we'll do some cool photos. I got a drone. We can do some cool shit.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Dude, those are next
Ain't
level
nobody got
grad
drone
pictures.
fucking senior photos.
Ain't no one. I ain't never seen no fucking... Dude, you could have some crazy shit. You're laying in a field of like dandelions, and
crazy
it's like
angles.
just like on top of you. You're like double thumbs up, double finger guns up the thing.
That would be lit.
That's a senior photo right there.
But yeah, taking the side hustles. But the house side of things has also been going really well. I've done more houses in the past 2 weeks than I did the entire month of last month, pretty much. Pretty close to it.
Sheesh. Man, you
So-
grinding.
That's nice. Just grind it out here. Busy as I have
That's
my
so cool,
COVID
though.
shot tomorrow.
Oh boy, my second one's on Sunday.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, boys. Fucking
I
doing
took
it for
Thursday
society.
off.
Did you get yours, Freddy?
Yeah, I've had my
That's happened.
second one.
Yeah.
I've had
Have
my
you?
shit for a minute now.
I was gonna say you probably have.
Yeah, Trent's got the in-home nurse.
I got the in-home
That's true.
fucking secret sauce. No. But it's dope. I mean, I saw something, not to fuck up the topic, but I just saw something about people buying fake vaccination cards
Oh yeah.
to go traveling. So, yo, that
Yeah, oh,
is
yeah, I saw
crazy. That is like, that just blows my mind.
Dude, it's gonna be a thing. And, like, in order for it to be secure, I don't even know if putting it on our phones would make it secure at this point. If you look at the fucking pipeline, I don't know what is safe.
Nothing's
At this point, Apple phones, I will say, have really good encryption, and they fought the Supreme Court over that encryption and won.
Mhm.
So, I would put my money in Apple if we need to do like a on the phone like vaccine card.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah,
I would
dude.
not trust. Also, I don't know. Verizon also has a history of selling people's data to the government.
Yes, they have.
Yeah. So that's not good.
Yeah, it's fucked up, dude.
Private companies should not be able to sell people's data to the government, or probably to anyone.
Well, they also sell it to those like third-party data mining companies, and
Yeah,
all they do
exactly.
is like they just data mine, and
Yeah.
then they buy that shit, and then
I don't know if you saw, but Apple in the recent update, I don't know if you've updated your phone recently,
I grab
but
some
when
water.
when you click on an app, it will ask you if you want to let this app track your like data across websites. So like how Facebook like takes all your data from different like websites that you go on
mhm.
to serve ads, you can turn that off now through Apple. Like Apple blocks it completely.
Yeah,
And that's
pretty
why
cool.
Facebook like is losing a shit ton of money because Apple is pretty much cut off their data. Like they can't take it from third party sites and everything anymore.
That's fucking dope. I mean, you can't take your data, and then I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
like that's for like cookies as well. It's not taking
Yeah, exactly.
tracking any of your cookies.
They can't take anything off of except for Facebook.
Yeah,
So
that's
that
fucking
hurts.
good. I mean,
But they're also doing like pretty much I don't know what they're calling them, but they're pretty much food labels for apps, and it will tell you what each app does. Like, does it use your microphone? Does it track you across
I've seen
websites?
that. I've
what
seen that.
websites? Yeah, so that right there is another thing. It's like it will tell you up front, like before you download the app,
Mhm.
what they're going to take from you.
Also,
which is really good.
yeah, 100%. Which is like I feel like that's very good. Like that we have that nutrition type label for those.
Yeah.
But also be careful because if you don't read them all, I saw ones that was like probably like this long on my phone screen, which I would say like 4 inches, which is too long. Where you have to scroll and look at the
Yeah.
rest of it, and they were talking about like taking my data, but like super like ridiculous amounts of fucking data, and then like like we have the right to sell it, we have the right to like everything, and it was like all right there. But if you didn't scroll down, dude, you would have sold your soul away. Like 100%.
That's insane.
I have returned from the watering
Yo,
hole.
that's fucked.
Welcome back.
What have
Yeah,
I
that's
missed?
We were talking about Apple kind of blocking like Facebook and other companies from like tracking your data
yeah.
across websites
Yeah, they should.
to like serve ads and stuff, and they put in like pretty much nutrition labels on apps now that will tell you what like they take from you, like
Really?
up front. Yeah,
Huh.
all on Apple. That's how they keep you in there. You're never gonna buy an Android phone. You're stuck.
Yeah, this is my first Apple phone, and I'm honestly probably stuck. Like,
I'm definitely stuck. I was looking at like the new iMacs, and I'm like, it makes absolutely no sense for me to buy this because everything else I have is Windows, but it's so pretty and I want it so bad.
Man, I'm waiting for that foldable fucking iPhone, man. 2023, just like the old days.
Dude, who was it? LG. They're not making phones anymore. They announced that they're done making phones. And they were like one of the only phone companies that was like pushing the limits. They were doing like curved phones and like
Yeah, bro.
folding phones and closing phones and stuff like that. LG was always like kind of like one step ahead in terms of like design, but their phones kind of sucked.
Yeah, it's
So
all
like
that
they were
iOS
never good enough to like be up with Apple, and it's kind of sad. that
Bro,
they're
the
not making
Intensity
phones
2
anymore.
was the phone of its time.
Yeah, dude, the NV3 was
Yes.
my favorite phone ever.
I don't even. Mine was like an LG. Mine was an LG. Are you talking about the
Dude,
little
LG
brick?
had the market at one point on the high schooler phones.
They did. Those shits ripped though, man. Oh my god. Honestly, like that is probably still like just being able to touch the keyboard.
Yeah,
I've never
I mean,
had anything like that, and it was like beep 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 beep. It
Yeah,
was
not to sound like a boomer, but these Gen Z kids are never gonna have that feeling.
never.
They go straight to iPad when they're 2 years old, and they go brain dead.
Yo, yeah, exactly. Have you seen the things like what like people ask kids, like grown ups ask kids, what do you do if you like answer a phone? Like how do you answer a phone? And
Oh,
all of
yeah,
us are
when they
like this,
go-
and they're
yeah.
just like this. Like
I mean, that makes sense. It's like they've never actually seen a phone that looks
True.
like that.
True.
But that's very sad.
It's just weird.
Well, yeah, but it's
bet
like the same
cool.
thing with like analog or digital clocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's kids out there that don't know how to read like an analog clock. They don't know like how
Okay,
to.
that's got to
Once
be
again,
taught. That's just.
I feel like we're the last of the good generation. I think we hit the brick wall right after us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
without a doubt.
the tech boom,
Right.
the fucking we were born in like the .com bubble, which is like honestly pretty crazy because fucking that shit just. And then national security and everything after 2001 and.
Yeah.
Dude, you want to talk about technology and everything? I just saw this on my Instagram feed.
Barstool Game Time. On this day 20 years ago, Nintendo reveals the GameCube and Melee for the first time.
That's crazy.
That shit makes me tear up.
How many years ago? 20?
20 today.
Damn.
20 yesterday, technically.
I'm old.
Oh. But I still got my GameCube at my house. That shit still works.
GameCube is hands down one of the best consoles of all time. I
Uh-huh.
think if you look at the numbers it sold like that as well. But Nintendo's always been like that. They got that shit on lock for sales.
It's just so good.
They got the best games at the end of the day.
True.
At least nostalgic games.
Mm-hmm. And there's like a whole fan base that just will always gravitate towards that because like, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
They also have the entire country of Japan.
Also that. Also that. Dude, I want to
So-
go to that theme park once in my life. That
Yeah.
Nintendo theme park that just looks like it's.
When things open back up, I say we take a 25-hour flight.
No.
I guarantee it's that long,
Probably.
if not longer. You have to fly across the entire country, across the Pacific Ocean.
Oh my god.
Just to go to the Nintendo park.
I say it's worth it one day when COVID is wiped off the face of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
We go to Nintendo World.
Oh, it's 100% worth it.
I'll go anywhere where Nintendo is.
True. They're building a smaller version of it in Florida at that Universal Park. It won't be like the scale of the one in Japan, but it will have some of the stuff in it, which is cool.
I'll go anywhere.
Where Nintendo / Pokemon is, because that's where my heart is.
They need to make an AR Pokemon park
Oh my god.
where you can run around and catch Pokemon, and you have like AR goggles
I'd
on so
nut.
you can see the Pokemon running around.
I'd be in there all day. I'd be fucking decking little kids across the fucking face to
Dude,
catch
that's
some
the
Charizards.
That's the future of like video games.
That'd be
Just
so
giant
fucking-
like parks that are you run around with AR goggles. You can do like battle royale games.
That'd be
Just
so
in
sick.
a giant real world thing, and it's all just virtual in front of your face.
And then like
That's crazy.
That's
Crazy.
Gamers would not be successul because it
No.
would literally be physical.
So much athleticism.
like war if it's a.
Hey, it would get people moving. People complain about you never go outside when you're playing video games.
It would
Now
solve
you
that
have
problem.
to.
guess what, bitch? The video games are outside.
No, at that point, you could get like an exosuit, so it takes no actual work, and the exosuit just runs around for you.
Yeah, I've seen those type of looking things on Instagram ads, like invest in like the exosuit on like
Yeah.
a weird circular treadmill type thing. So like, I mean, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I've seen that for like VR,
Yeah.
so you can walk around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I knew that I had to have been like 15 or probably 15 years old, and I went to my sister's apartment in Buffalo, and me and her roommate and this dude went and like for like a hike or something because my sister was working, and this dude was way ahead of the game on VR. He had one of those things back when I was 15, so whatever year that would have been. VR was like at its earliest stage, and that man had like that, like had it all built out in his like attic from that at that point in time. So that man was way ahead of the game because that stuff's just becoming slightly mainstream for VR nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
That man
I
was
just vividly remember
that man was
that
ahead of the curve.
every time.
That's
I don't know.
hilarious.
I had a VR helmet, and I don't think it's there yet. It's also VR. I think AR is where it's gonna go because you can actually see into the real world.
Mm-hmm.
VR closes you off from everything, and like at some point, like you can't like I don't know be in VR and then like check your phone unless they get it to the point where like you can virtually see your phone and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
which I already think they have because there's a VR helmet with cameras on the front of it. So I think they're getting to that point. But it just feels like very closed off, and I didn't like it that much.
Yeah, I also one thing I found is like I get very car sick, and I get very seasick.
Mhm.
I get very virtually sick. Like
Yeah.
it's like because
That in the new
it's-
like
yeah.
VR goggles, they've got new lenses that are they've been upgrading the lenses. That's pretty much what it all comes down to.
mm-hmm.
Is like the lenses in the goggles and how they strain your eyes and stuff like that. And they've been getting a lot better over the past couple models.
That's
So
good.
they are improving now. But like I said, it's just like a very closed off experience. And until like it's like Ready Player One level,
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
think it's gonna be like that mainstream. Speaking of that, I watched a crazy video, and I think I've mentioned it before on the podcast about Fortnite becoming like this big game where you can just play as like any like pop culture character and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They have confirmed that's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to build. It's called the Metaverse,
Oh
and
my
it
God.
has all of like pop culture in it, and they're just trying to get everything they can into Fortnite, like every single possible movie character and like stuff like that. They've at this point they have a shit ton of them, and it's great. I don't know where. Maybe one day down the road, Fortnite will be at the level of Ready Player One because that's what it seems like they're going towards. Is a game where you can literally be anything that you want.
That's pretty fucking crazy. They gotta get us in there, dude. They gotta start scanning the fucking people.
The only thing is the only way you can get those skins is if you buy them. So at the end of the day, like, you can't be fucking Master Chief unless you pay $20 to be Master Chief.
Yeah.
So
Let's pay for the Master Chief.
it's at the end of the day, Epic Games wins no matter what.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? I was thinking, like, maybe, like, Ready Player One type shit would be, like, a subscription and like you would just get the characters, but no fucking way. It's all gonna be like customizable shit, like fucking
100%.
money hungry, more money. Fucking random.
Microtransactions are going fucking anywhere. If
Yeah.
anything, they're gonna get worse. Unless, I don't know. There's been multiple court cases recently against microtransactions, especially in Europe. Multiple European countries have banned microtransactions and like loot boxes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, loot boxes especially are just online gambling for children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
You
I
see that
can
one? You said loot box, and it made me think of that one Mr. Beast video where he just gets a bunch of those like mystery crates.
Yeah.
those are also another big internet like fucking gambling problem.
Yeah, like the one.
Yeah.
There's some stuff like obviously like he got lucky on some, but I swear there was one. It was literally just like a bunch of like I don't even know what was in it exactly. I think it was like a bunch of like food.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
like ramen or something.
There's websites where you can like buy like a Supreme crate and it's like, I don't know, $10 and you have like a chance of getting like $1,000 item or like a $3 keychain. And 99 point, I mean, they have to show the odds. That's like one of the regulations that they have on them is that you have to show the odds of each item of getting it. So it will tell you if there's a 1 in 3 trillion chance of you getting that $1,000 item. But still, people will
Yeah,
spend
but you're just
$10.
getting a bunch of shit.
They get a
You're literally just gonna
$3
get a bunch
item.
of shit more often than not.
Mm-hmm.
Also, more, and the really bad thing about them is it makes way more sense to like sell the item back to them for $3 than to have them ship like a $3 item because they're going to charge you shipping on it. So you don't technically own anything that you fucking get from them until you like pretty much pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
So my
It's just
girlfriend
fucked up.
has just alerted me of the fact that you know how like they have Dogecoin. I guess they just came out with Shiba Coin.
Ooh. We need it.
I think Shiba's been out for a minute. I don't know how long, but
Shiba's been out for a minute.
I don't know. There's so many altcoins, man. I see this like one meme page I follow. He's like Shiba to the moon, like on just like captions randomly, just to like try and like make money from his fucking platform. Which I mean, good for him. But
Dogecoin has a rival, its own logo. Shiba Coin, Shiba Inu Coin.
that's funny as fuck.
Well, she brought it up because we have a Shiba.
Little
Loki.
Loki.
Is it?
There's
What
like
is- What kind of dog breed is the Dogecoin dog?
Oh no, it's a Shiba. It's just a Shiba on like. Shiba
That's-
is the mascot for Dogecoin, but now there's Shiba
Yeah.
Inu, so they have.
oh
It's an
This Doge.
altcoin of Doge.
It's an altcoin of the Doge of the mascot, which is a Shiba.
I was getting gas the other day, and at my local gas station, I saw a sign on the window, and it said, "Buy Bitcoin here."
Buy
I'm like, do you know Bitcoin is in a bad spot when you can buy it at the shitty gas
Everybody.
station?
That's funny. Yeah, I can't believe you could buy it at a gas station. What? Well,
Yeah, I guarantee, I see them all over the place now around here. They're like ATMs for Bitcoin. And
Okay,
you put in like you can buy like Bitcoin there. You would need like a Bitcoin wallet.
yeah, hard
I'm
wallet.
assuming. I don't know how else they would fucking give it to you on the spot like that.
Yeah, I mean,
You need a wallet of some kind, I'm assuming.
mhm.
But I don't know. I highly doubt you can set up a wallet that quickly. You need probably a physical one if you go into a gas station. I don't know
Yeah,
how
he's
the
the one,
gas
like,
stations
Jake
give out
has
Bitcoin.
Jake has hard wallets for his Ethereum and
Yeah.
Bitcoin. So
what
like
was
that's
the one we
100%.
used to have? What was like the one way back in the day that like was it like something like credit transfer or something like what was that old? I don't know. Jackson did it one time, or like had to use it one time.
Oh, credit union, like Western Credit Union
yeah,
to
Western
transfer money.
Credit Union.
That's like Sketch Nation shit. That's what you use
Yeah.
to fucking get a
Oh,
fake
you know what it was?
ID or buy crap.
Yeah, that I was literally just gonna say. It was literally when he got a fake ID. He literally had to use.
Oh
He
no!
had to use Western Credit Union. Loki, no, get down.
Yeah, I mean, then again, that is literally just set up.
Nowadays it's Bitcoin or like a cryptocurrency. Like they'll even probably back then they were accepting Bitcoin as a payment method.
It's so funny though.
Because that Bitcoin they got back then in fucking 2016 is worth fucking way, way more now.
Dude, can you imagine? Like,
That's the ultimate.
I'm so jealous of any of those people that like early on, just like, were like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a bunch of Bitcoin, or you know what? I'm gonna buy a bunch of Dogecoin, and just kept it, and now they're like rich.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, you can't have FOMO. You just gotta keep living your life. You'll
Literally.
hit one of those the people who did that. Good on them. They were ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
But you also had to have been in a situation where you could have, like, the rich get richer at the end of the day.
Yeah.
A lot of the people who bought like the Bitcoin whales and everything, who have like a shit ton of it from back then, were most likely rich to begin with because they had the funds to drop $80,000 on Bitcoin in like 2015. So
I don't know. I saw one where like talking about Doge. Like this guy was like on Twitter and he said like, oh, if I would have put $100 on it when it hit like this point of what it was, like, and he said like the price. He's like, I'd have over $10,000 like for that day that it went like up, and he was like, now you know.
yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Even though like 10
it
grand
also
ain't like a million.
It can.
You can
If
also.
you remember BitConnect, have you ever seen the BitConnect video?
No.
BitConnect was a cryptocurrency fucking Ponzi scheme, pretty much. And it happened, I want to say it was 2017 it happened.
My
so when
friends are in
Bitcoin... Really?
Yep. In freshman year of college, BitConnect.
Well,
I almost got into.
So, yep, 2017. Yeah, that right there. BitConnect is a very good example of how quickly you can lose every cent that you have in a cryptocurrency.
That's crazy.
Yes. Yes,
They
indeed.
it came out that it was like a scam. They took all their money and ran, and the entire thing fucking dropped to zero.
Damn. No,
Yeah.
I know, it's so risky. All that stuff's just so risky. It's almost
But-
like, yeah, FOMO.
I mean, at the end of the day, it might be worth. You got to take every risk you can.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Mhm.
Like, I think if COVID has shown us anything, it's probably better to like live like just do what you want to do, and if it doesn't work out, the world's probably going in a shitty direction anyways.
Very
Just do
So-
what makes you happy.
Don't make stupid decisions, but I mean, at this point, I think it
No, I would
makes
say, like,
sense to just
definitely-
like try everything you can to be happy.
I was gonna say a version of that. I was gonna say do what needs to be done to like
Yeah.
obviously live, but at the same time make sure you're with the most like with the rest of your time or with the rest of your energy, make sure you're doing what you love. Or like what you want. Don't just do stuff over and over and over like if it's not something you like. And shit
Yeah,
like that.
100%.
Do stuff you like.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, if you have a job that like pays you well, but you don't really like it, but like you're not gonna leave it because like you make good money off of it, like benefits, like all that stuff that you need to live, then by all means do that. But when you get out of work, do what you love, do what you enjoy.
Yeah.
Or if you can turn what you love into what you do for a living, even better.
Yeah. This kind of brings me into something I was thinking about earlier this week, and I mentioned in the chat how I see like hiring signs all over the place, and nobody wants jobs or whatever. And it took me like the whole week. I kept thinking about it. I'm like, why are there so many? Like, I was literally every place I walk in, it says hiring. And then I saw something, I don't even remember where it was. It might have been on TikTok. And they were talking about how they're not paying people any more than they were like before the pandemic. So why does it make sense when things still aren't great and they're not doing anything different? They're not helping anybody. They're not giving you like paid sick leave and all this other stuff. So why the fuck would it make sense to take some shitty job
Yeah.
has zero respect for you? And that made me realize that like all these places that I'm seeing, I see some small businesses like who have them, but a lot of them are like McDonald's and shit. Like McDonald's was doing open walk-in interviews because like for the entire week just to try to get people, and I'm like, it's because McDonald's still doesn't give a single fuck about their employees.
100%.
No, dude, that's how it goes. Like a lot of places, like it's just like that.
I don't even know how like to describe it. It's literally just like you make money, obviously. Like I make minimum wage because like I work at like the counter, but like I make more money like when I'm training people. But like even then, like I don't know, just the whole like that's what you get paid. I don't know. I don't want to even make it seem like it's a minimum wage thing. Like minimum wage needs to be higher. It's just like for a lot of places and like especially now like what you're saying with like unemployment. Like right now unemployment's still like so like lenient to get just because like the way we are still with like COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know though. I also saw like if unemployment pays more than you're paying your employees, then like you're the fucking problem.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying that minimum wage, like you were saying, is minimum wage is like the first thing on the list that needs to be fixed. There are so many other issues within like the labor system right now that are way worse that would fix a lot of things.
Well,
and most of it's just corporate
greed. In
greed.
general,
corporate greed is just the main problem because things are just so expensive. It's like too expensive.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just
also,
too expensive to live.
There's so many factors that go into all this, but like immense amounts. But the main thing about the minimum wage, I'll start first. Like, if we're trying to raise the minimum wage.
Yeah.
And like
Joe Biden supports $15.
And like it proportionately to where it should be, yes, it should be around $24 a living wage. It's where it's proportionate to other things. But then obviously corporate greed has taken down like people. It's also a minimum wage, which it's tough, but then you got to think about all the small businesses we know and love. Dude, like prices are going higher because inflation, so much money in the market. Prices are going up no matter what. And then as soon as like these businesses are facing like shutdowns and shit, corporate businesses, they can make all the moves they want. They got excess money. Fucking a small mom and pop shop, they fucking the
wage, that's the worst thing about minimum wage is it's not proportional to every business. You have to take into consideration that this $1 billion McDonald's can pay a lot fucking more than a mom and pop shop.
100%.
So you shouldn't hold the mom and pop shop to the same standard. The minimum wage should scale with the size of the business.
I think it should
Obviously, there should be like a bottom. Like it shouldn't just be like, oh, since you're a small place, you can pay your workers absolutely nothing. Yeah. But it also should be proportionate to like how much income you're bringing in and just that in general. Because McDonald's is making a lot more money than the donut shop on the corner.
100%. Yeah, that's a really good take. I like that. Like that idea of scaling up minimum wage for.
How would you do that though? Would that just be based off of like companies
it's just
like
tax
average
structure
income?
At the end of the day, it's like Andrew Yang talked about like the VAT tax, like taking like a tax from every single sale of Amazon from like Amazon and using that to pay for like universal basic income. So it's just a tax structure. You put in a system where if you make X amount of money, then you go into the next tax bracket, and that's how much you have to pay into a wage for your workers.
Yeah, like that would work. Like somebody like McDonald's, they'd be in a higher tax bracket than like you said, like that mom and pop's like Service Hardware, for example.
Yeah. I think it's also it's a slight misconception that like things would, because you're paying workers more, the prices would raise on everything. I feel like if you're paying workers more, then they are doing better, then the economy is doing better, and the economy will go in the right direction and follow that trend.
Yeah, because I don't necessarily
and especially since, like what Trent said, like it's supposed to be at $24, like adjusted for inflation and everything, and it's not.
But we also have to account for corporate greed because, like automation, like they're just gonna start, like fucking. You see the machines that put the fries down in the fryer. Yeah. Like that's coming next.
I mean that's the biggest enemy to all of this is the
technology.
Everything is going to get automated away if you start taking money away from the corporate. But then you have to put in regulations, and for every single robot worker you have to pay X amount of money in taxes so that money can go back to like the economy. So you're not just taking all this money because you're not paying anybody, so all the money is staying in house.
Yeah.
And that money is not going into the economy, and
Yeah.
it just sits and boils and does absolutely nothing for
It's
anyone.
such a fat deadweight loss. Like it's like in
I understand the argument that like people. Oh my gosh, excuse me. Oh, big yawn. I understand like the argument that people say about like I don't know if Bernie said it. Somebody like I just heard somebody or read somebody recently that said it, but like when you like obviously like increasing the minimum wage, and then like that way like prices of things need to go up, so like everything goes up. Like then in turn, kind of like what Dylan, like what you were saying though, Dylan, is like I don't think it needs to be that way, because then if you pay people more money, then they have more money to spend, which they will then put back into the economy. So you wouldn't raise the prices of everything. You leave the prices the same.
Yeah.
You just pay the people more, and then that way like it like then will like not self-correct, but it will help itself out along the way, because and it was the same thing with like the stimmy checks. Like the stimulus checks, like so many people were like literally just taking those and dropping like the whole thing on something, and that was kind of the point. The point was kind of to like give you this money to then put it back into the economy to like then help the economy start to like get back to a place where it needs to be.
That's exactly why universal basic income is the smartest thing you can do, because it takes all the money that sits there idly, does absolutely nothing for no one, because all these billionaires have it sitting in their bank account or in the stock market that really has absolutely no effect on like day-to-day people like life.
Fucking Warren Buffett.
So that right there, by taking some of that money through like a VAT tax and giving a people $1,000 a month, the people are going to spend that $1,000 a lot better than it's sitting in the stock market doing nothing for no one.
I mean, like, granted, like myself and a lot of people I'm sure out there, like I wouldn't spend probably even close to like half of that money. Yeah, I would save that money, but it would still be used. Like that $1,000, if we had universal help, whatever, I can't say the fucking words. If we had
UPI.
if we had UPI, literally like finding like an apartment for like so many other people other than myself, finding like an apartment, finding like finding somewhere to live, trying to buy something, like trying to like
going to school,
trying to like purchase a car and make like the monthly payments on like a car lease. That would make everything so much easier, because like $1,000 goes.
It would take care of so many like basic needs for you that you wouldn't even. It would still be going somewhere. It would be going into like the car dealership, or it would be going into like
let's
still
say
be moving it instead of sitting.
Like let's say we
money
had
needs
it.
To move.
Let's say we had it.
Be anything.
Then I could literally look at like. Apartment hunting differently, where like instead of like looking at like how it's gonna like cost me monthly as opposed to like what I'm gonna make in a month at work, I could literally be like, okay, I can find a nicer apartment now because like I have $1,000 and then plus whatever I'm willing to pay on top of it. Like especially for some of these places out here, like there's some places in like some of like these apartment complexes that like literally come with everything's included. Like they're super super nice, and they're like around like the $1,300 like ratio. And, like, I will make that. I'll make more than that in a month. But, like, that's just a lot of money for one person, like, for myself to, like, feel comfortable.
$1,250 is what my new apartment is.
Yeah, but, like, let's say, for example, we have UBI, and I get $1,000. Then I'm, like, $300 at most, like, out of, like, my paycheck and out of my bank account. Like, that's perfect. Because all of that money is going directly back into the economy. Like, directly into, like, my rent.
It's very smart, and that's why if you live in New York City, which I know probably not a single one of our listeners do, but if you do, vote for Andrew Yang, because that man is going to turn New York City into...
Yang 2020...
Hell yeah.
What? 2022?
2021.
2021.
For the mayor?
The final mayor elections. I think the primaries are next week, I think.
Andrew Yang.
I know the primaries here next week. I gotta go get out and vote.
Hell yeah.
That's crazy.
One quick thing on the last thing before we leave that Chach is, UBI is definitely, especially for me in my situation, it'd be fucking awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah, really.
Caretakers, that's why he talked about that on the campaign trail a lot. How it would help the people who aren't, like, on the books like normal workers. Like they don't work at fucking, but they are working. They're taking care of someone. They're doing like X, Y, and Z, but they're not on the books like a conventional worker.
Exactly. But then it's just there's gonna have to be some litigation that like about price hikes and price ceilings because you think about it, like the same person like that you're renting to, he's gonna be getting taxed more.
Factors in that $1,000.
And he's gonna fucking hike his prices because he's like, you're taking money from me. I'm giving all these people money. Like, fuck you. Like,
the one guy running for mayor here has a whole plan to like put like ceilings on like landlords and stuff so they cannot overcharge. And also doing it based off of the area. So like I said, like scaling it with like the economy in that specific spot. So it's not like
dumb smart.
In like a cheaper area, like they still have to hit this like $1,500 like ceiling or whatever.
Yeah, that's really nice.
So that's a good idea. But it's definitely something you have to think about is you have to put those ceilings in there or else people are going to exploit it.
It's just going to be another fucking fuck cycle of abuse. It's literally just like, I don't know. We'll see, man. It's just like, there's so much good stuff that could happen, but then there's so many factors that if like, our economy is so shot right now, even though everyone's like, "Oh, we're on the come up." Like, no, one small thing will tank the fucking like. I mean, the markets.
No, we've been on the edge for a long time.
Very true.
Just teetering. We teetering on that edge.
Fucking,
there's a little teeter going on.
I'm honestly very impressed. I don't know. It's really weird in my head to think about like America collapsing just because we live here. It's been what it has been our entire life.
It's post-collapse, dog. We been collapsed. That's
what I was gonna say.
We been
it's
out
like,
here.
Like there's shootings literally every single day. There's like
we got people,
riots in the street. There's the Capitol buildings being attacked. Like we've been in.
We got people that can't wear
we
got people that can't wear a piece of cloth over their face without getting their fucking butt in a twist.
Yeah, we've been in it. So.
And we just got hacked yesterday. Fucking.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
or pipelines are getting hacked. We're fucking.
Oh my god.
Foreign governments are fucking hacking our elections.
I want to talk about this last little topic before we fucking hit the Kwanji. But fucking boys, the last topic of the day right here. Aaron Rodgers is gonna leave me.
Yes, dude, I've been hearing so much about this. They're saying Devonta.
Aaron Rodgers doesn't like me and Chucky no more. He said, yo, Brad, Chuck, he said, fuck you guys, I'm leaving.
Man, I mean,
I'm just sad.
He saw Tom Brady and he's like, I want to go to greener pastures.
Yep. He saw Tom Brady leaving.
I'm surprised if Drew Brees doesn't move in this offseason. I'll be very surprised.
Drew Brees retired.
He retired? Well, there you go. He's done.
He moved. He did the big move.
He did move.
Going forever.
Fucking send Aaron Rodgers to New Orleans.
That's where he's going?
Dude, fucking, he gets to throw the ball to Michael Thomas, and their defense ain't too shab. Sean Payton.
They're all. It's also not Wisconsin. You can go.
It ain't cold.
Somewhere warm.
That actually might not be a bad idea. Like, honestly, if Aaron Rodgers, Sean Payton's a good head coach. I mean, like,
I would just look at where Aaron Rodgers has houses, figure out where his other house is. That's probably where he's going.
Where is he going?
From Cali. Right.
Yeah, it's just some sad shit, though. It's just like, I understand it, though. Like, the whole time he's been there, they've more or less just kind of, like, wasted him. They could have done so much for him every year, or, like, at least tried.
Yeah.
I just don't like the way, like, the Green Bay mentality is to, like, not draft for the current year. So, like, let's draft for the future. Like, let's not think 1 year ahead. Like, we're trying to think 3 years ahead. So, like, they don't, like, look at their team at the end of every year and be like, okay, like, where are we weak? Where do we need to fill gaps? It's like, no, where's our team going to be weak in, like, 3 years? So, like, we can, like, plan ahead that way. Like, that's why last year we traded up in the draft to pick a fucking quarterback. And then the same year, you trade up in the draft for the first round. You draft a quarterback. That same year, you make it to the NFC Championship again. Your quarterback has, like, his best season ever and wins the NFL MVP again.
Yeah. A lot
Like
of
Aaron
that's
Rodgers
money.
literally just looked them in the face and went,
Yeah.
"You're stupid."
Yeah.
They are
I mean,
fucking
so
stupid.
much shit can happen in 3 years that it's very dumb.
Yeah,
to
but the way
try
I,
to,
but
like,
the way
fill
I,
gaps without knowing.
Well, yeah,
like,
because like the way I think about it is like, at least in my opinion, for like, and that's how it should be this way for all sports teams. Just because at the end of the day, it's a business, so you want the business to like, you want the business to last, but you also want the business to like thrive in the moment. I think you should just look at every season and just go, where did we lack last season? How do we make it better this season with the people we have right now? So, like, that's what they should have done every year with Rodgers. Is they literally should have been like, okay, like, we lacked a couple of receivers or we lacked, like, some O-line. Let's get better for this next year.
Also, like, drafting a quarterback to be, like, underneath Aaron Rodgers, like, pretty close to, like, the end of, like, him being there to begin with.
Mad
Like, if he
disrespectful.
retired or something like that. It just doesn't make sense. Like, Garoppolo underneath Tom Brady, the reason he was, like, so fucking good is because he sat under there for years when
And I mean,
Tom Brady was growing himself.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
he
but don't
came
get me
out of
wrong,
there on
though,
the
like,
same projectile.
Remember that Rodgers sat underneath Brett Favre for 3 years.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Does Aaron Rodgers have 3 years left at Green Bay?
I think he almost had more. If you ask me, I think my dad and I were talking about it, and we were like, after we looked at this season, like after he just went and won the MVP, Dad and I looked at each other, we're like, he's probably got like 5 before he starts to get bad.
Well, I don't know. It just doesn't make like if Tampa Bay got like a quarterback this year to sit underneath Tom Brady, I feel like it just doesn't make sense because Tom Brady's already like at like the end, but he keeps going.
Well,
like,
no, I think that would even make more sense because then like you already know he's on his way out. The dude just played like 16 fucking years in New England.
I don't know. I just feel like it's maybe I'm completely wrong, but I feel like it's better to have them in their like actual prime age and everything.
Oh,
so
yeah.
both of these quarterbacks are like growing at the exact same time, and they're learning on the same projectile. Like Tom Brady is already he knows. Like you don't need to tell Tom Brady how to be a quarterback at this point. So I feel like it's harder to learn from someone who's learning themselves.
I would say in your prime. I would say once you think you have like so like for example, right? Like what Josh Allen's this is his 4th year now, or this will be his 3rd year.
4th.
So this would be his 4th year, right? So like the way I would look at it, like if or at least in my mind, like how I would want to say it is like let's say like he can last like. I mean, how long has Aaron Rodgers been a quarterback? I think he's been a quarterback for, I think, like 12, 13. So, like, maybe, like, if this is Joshy's 4th season, wait till Joshy hits, like, maybe, like, 8 or 9, and then, like, maybe in that draft, go and see if you can, like, draft a quarterback that can then sit under him for, like, 3-4 years. Because then by that time, you never know what happens. Like, maybe that guy sits under him for, like, literally until Josh, like, retires, and then this guy only has like maybe like 1-2 really good years, but then you got 1-2 really good years of like a quarterback who watched like him play all that time. And like being a backup quarterback is like one of the best jobs you could be in the NFL. Like for 1 you're a fucking quarterback, and for 2 you're the backup. You don't gotta fucking do anything.
True.
You just get paid to sit there. It's same with like a kicker. All you gotta do is kick a ball. You make millions.
I would like to be a kicker.
That's easy. But that's like the way I look at it. I would say like when you think your quarterback is like in his prime and probably like at the halfway point of like his career, then maybe look to put somebody underneath them to learn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like in that time period there should probably be someone underneath them because I feel like it's good to grow even if that quarterback doesn't necessarily go on to like take that spot. It's good to have that person in the league.
Well, yeah, but I mean, then like think about it this way, right? Like if you almost want to do it like in a way that makes like the most logical sense, and then to ensure that like unless they don't have this like raw natural talent, or unless like a lot of things go wrong, like let's say a quarterback's average span is like let's say like 12 years, right? So like 6 years after they hit that 6th year, then you put somebody underneath them for like those next 6 years. So then like that guy has 6 years of learning, and then he has like 6 maybe even more years of like really good, and then like you keep flipping it. So like every 6 you like cycle out like the guy underneath and then the guy on top.
That's what the Packers were trying to do.
6 is a lot too. I mean, don't get me wrong, 6 is a lot. Like Aaron Rodgers sat underneath Brett Favre for 3 years, and that probably felt like a shit long time.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing is like, is that person gonna want to sit there for 6 years?
It's also a
I mean,
huge
and be an
conflict of interest.
understudy.
I mean, you made it to
Yeah.
the NFL. You are making money, and I mean, you still get to do things. You don't get to play, but like at least like. you're
Yeah, but
in
at what
the
point
NFL.
are they going to be sitting there and they're like, all right, I am good enough to be a starting quarterback. Why am I still sitting here?
Well,
And
look at
that's
a
a
lot
I'm
of
not going to
guys.
stay here for another 3
Look at a lot of
years.
guys that thought that way, but it really didn't turn out. Like look at
Yeah, that's true.
like Nick Foles, right? Nick Foles was behind Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz got hurt. He went out. He freaking led them to the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl, and then Nick Foles like got a starting job. Literally didn't do shit with it.
Yeah.
Look at guys like who else?
It's
Who else
also
was
an
that kind
amazing
of?
team, but
Yeah. True.
he went to the
Um,
fucking Bears and got
Guys
murdered.
like Matt Flynn, right? Matt
Yeah.
Flynn sat behind Aaron Rodgers for a few years. Then I think he got like a chance to be a starter. He went to like another team. He didn't really
Seattle,
do
I
shit.
think.
Yeah, I think it was Seattle.
he didn't do shit.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like who else. There's just a couple guys that like like that's a back. Well,
Yeah.
how many fucking quarterbacks did the Bills go through? every single or the Browns for that fact. Every single one of those dudes just dog shit.
Dude.
Yeah,
Like
that's
just
also
not
true.
meant to be.
Dude.
And it's so
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. That's the. I mean, at the end of the day, that's why the NFL is the NFL. Is because like if you can be the fucking best person for 100 miles in your area, and you could still suck dog shit.
Oh yeah.
And the NFL will show you very quickly that just because you're a hometown hero doesn't mean you are absolutely anything, because there is someone out there that is probably 100 times better than you are,
For fucking sure.
unless you are like one of the chosen few who are actually,
Yeah. It's
because there are 300 plus million people in this country, and I don't know how many people are in the NFL, but I guarantee it's probably nowhere close to that
around
number.
53 times 32. I'm going
Mhm.
to say 1,500 something.
Yeah, there you go. 1,000 people, 1,500 people out of 320 million people are the chosen few to be in that league.
I mean,
It-
if you make it, good for you though.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
another topic, that's why everyone fucking is hating on Tim Tebow right now for signing that
Oh.
fucking thing. I mean, good for Tim. I mean, it's his own buddy, Urban Meyer, like his fucking dad of a coach. But
Yeah.
like, dude, there is people who play tight end from fucking 6 years old to now. And that dude they drafted from Ohio State, also under Urban Meyer, he's probably cracked. He's probably fucking amazing at tight end. Tim Tebow played quarterback, never even played tight end once in his high school, college, NFL, went and played baseball. Like, what gives him the right to come in here and take a roster spot of 53 people from one
Yeah.
of these dudes who's been grinding? Like,
Yeah, that's
no way he
bullshit.
makes it. Like, I bet money he won't make it on the team. Unless he's just giving Urban Meyer's blowies and they're like fucking using him as a quarterback distraction. Like a Taysom Hill, you know?
I just want to know
Yeah.
how that came about. Like, how did it just like, hey Tim, try to go play in the NFL?
You could catch a ball. You could catch a ball. Urban throws like a fucking ball at him while they're hammered drunk. Yeah. You're coming. Yeah, come on, Tim.
That's my new tight end right there, bud. There he is. Tim's back. I know, it's so fucking
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like
weird.
that.
Strange.
Also, before we rip the meme, shout out Russell Westbrook. Under fucking rated,
Yes!
overrated. I don't care. He's the leader in triple doubles for all of time. It's probably never ever going to be broken. And I don't fucking care what people have to say about Russell Westbrook. He's top 5 probably all time. He's
Yes, he
fucking
is.
amazing.
Russ this
Dude.
baby. And LeBron's coming back tonight. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Brown.
Oh, no, he's out actually.
Oh, Brown's still out.
And so, yeah, the Lakers are going to be in the play-in tournament, and if they lose 2 games, they will not be in the playoffs. So,
Oh my god.
and the first game, they play the hottest player in the league, Steph Curry. So, most likely.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Damn, bro.
NBA's been
LeBron
crazy.
better come back with that broken ankle. When does that start?
May 18th. So,
Oh, they got
a
some
week
time.
from today.
Got a little bit of time. Brown better get back in there.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
I'm hoping, dude.
We gotta make that playoff run. Sheesh. That man, sheesh. Sheesh. All right, you ready for this meme, boys?
Yes.
All right, we are back with your welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to your favorite segment of the socially distant podcast, the meme of the week. I'm your host, B-Dill, coming at you with the meme of the week, episode 57. Once again, another fire meme brought to you by the Nugget Instagram page. Of course, boys, say it with me. Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Ah, fuck.
So here we go. I saw this one and I died because I thought it was hilarious. One of my favorite Disney movies, The Lion King. We got a picture of Timon and Pumbaa, and it's got a caption up top, and Simba says, "My uncle killed my father, and now he's trying to kill me." And then Timon and Pumbaa say, "Oh wow, have you just tried not fucking worrying about it?" And it's just a picture of them smiling and walking.
Oh my god. I sent that one to Gina. That's
a good one. I like this guy over here. He said, "That was good advice, no cap." That was your meme of the week, episode 57. Ba-da-ba-boom.
That was a good one.
True. Well,
I love seeing memes that I've previously laughed at and just had a
yeah,
good
because
time.
you know they fire.
Yeah.
Well, boys. I'm gonna hit the Quan.
Good
Hit the gym quick.
57.
Go to sleep.
57.
57. 3 more until the season finale. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Season 3. Holy shit, we've been cooking these bitches.
Cooking.
Yes, indeed.
Well, stay safe. Hope everybody had a great Mother's Day. Love your mothers every day, not just on Mother's Day. And get vaccinated.
Yeah, I was just going to say, get vaccinated for them mothers.
Yeah.
Also, watch the YouTube video. I put funny memes in the picture frames.
Nice.
Last week, Vince Wilfork's face was in one of them.
I saw that, bro. I clicked on the
Nice,
video.
Dylan.
Like the pictures in the background and shit.
Yeah, I put funny memes back
Dumb
there.
funny.
So watch the video. YouTube.com.
YouTube.com.
Something.
Boom, boom, boom.
Have,
check it out.
have a good one, everybody. And fucking, like Brad says, stay safe.
Stay safe.
Bye-bye.
Signing off.
Peace.